Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to the Great Discovery. Tim Taylor here, co-CEO. I hope you're having a fantastic evening. Tonight, we're on training night. This is a Wednesday night. We are January 29th, 2025. If you're watching this by replay, you're going to want to get some notes. This is going to be an absolutely epic session, highly beneficial for you if you're a creator. Now, what we do on Wednesday nights is we rotate different topics. Sometimes it's for affiliates, sometimes it's about learning topics, sometimes different aspects of course creation and servicing and funnel building and other types of things. But tonight we're going to be hearing from our Chief Learning Officer, Dennis DiNoia. This is the man that oversees our team on onboarding all of our courses and writing all the different algorithms as we start bringing things on a much greater basis as we begin to grow. And what the real focus is going to be about is really getting your content up in a way that sells the best for you. That's really what it comes down to. If it's not attractive or it's missing some information, you're going to get frustrated. Your customers are going to get frustrated and they won't buy, and you won't get a new customer and they won't learn. So at the end of the day, it all just comes down to some little tips and tricks. Dennis has been at this for 14, 15 years, run a highly successful e-learning platform. He'll be able to share a lot with you. So I'm going to hand it over to Dennis DiNoia.
Thanks, Tim. Hi, everyone. So nice to be with you all. And you guys, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. So you guys, is that okay with everybody? So it's kind of fun. It's yeah. So if you're up for a little bit of fun, you can just put yes up in the chat window. Be like, oh yeah, let's have a little bit of fun. I'm saying hello to you guys from San Juan, Puerto Rico tonight, and I happen to be here. I'm going to be here for the next couple of weeks, so see some yeses. That's good. Okay, good. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be very playful, and we're going to look at some do's and don'ts. By the way, what we want to take a look at, and make sure you guys, looks like you can all see my screen now, which is great. We want to take a look at not only what we're looking at in academy level courses, but really this applies to everything that you're doing as a course content creator. And I was on a call earlier today, and the amazing Dick Taylor he's the gentleman who works with you on your demo reels. And he said, hey, could you do something for me? And I said, absolutely. He said, can you talk a little bit about demo reels? So we're going to start there, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. So if you're interested in, or you're planning to, or you've already done a demo reel, you're thinking of making one, put yes or put me up in the chat window. We want to make sure who you are. If you've got a demo reel, and the demo reel is the thing when you're going to what? You're going to go in, tell a little bit about yourself, and those things are going to be translated into different languages. Okay. So there we go. All right. So this is a message from Dick Taylor. Are you guys ready for that? What do you think? I don't know if you can guess or not. If you could guess the special message from Dick Taylor, what he is requesting of you, our content creators, or anybody that's doing any kind of demo reel, what do you think he might, he says, do it now. Absolutely. Okay, good. How many of you guys are familiar with Steph Curry, basketball player, Michael Jordan, basketball player, Tom Brady? Anybody familiar with those guys? Yeah, okay, good. Well, good, because here's what we want you to consider when you're doing a demo reel is to practice before you record. Now, why is that? Because when a demo reel comes in and you're starting and you're pausing before you start, or you're getting your papers together, or you're kind of, and then you start and there's some audible pauses in your speaking, those kind of things. We want you to practice so many times that you take that literally out of your speaking, so that what's there, what's available, what Dick has to work with is exactly your words, exactly the way you want to say them. And from there, how many times should you practice? Well, you should practice as many times as it takes, so that there's nothing other than your exact words, exactly the way you want them. You want to enunciate things well. If you speak quickly, slow down. If you if you happen to live in the United States and you live in Alabama, notice that you have an accent. Accents get heard when they're being translated in different ways. It took about 8 takes. Raymond, thanks for sharing that. You practiced, took about 8 times to do it. Yeah, absolutely. So can the reel be edited by you before you submit the video? Absolutely. So if you have editing software, edit your video before you send it. In fact, when I did mine That's exactly what I did. So I recorded it, I did my own editing, and then I sent it in so that there were no pauses, no gaps, no ums, anything, oops, those kind of things. It was there. And you think about, our guys like Steph Curry, right? Here he is. He goes out and he practices during the season. He shoots about 300 shots after practice. And in the off season, he shoots over 500 shots a day. So that's amazing. He's one of the best basketball players in the National Basketball League out there. So what we're being requested, and I'm passing this on to you, practice before you record. And if you have editing software, or if you need to get editing software, check out our course that is on Course Content Creator course, the course, and you can do it. You can check out how to get editing software. There's some free info out there. James Penny's going to talk to you about the AI software that we have available, so he can tell you even more about that. Okay, so next, course creation. Now, when you submit a course, there's myself, there's a couple of us that will look at your course. Typically, I'm going to be the one doing it. I typically look at courses on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. So it's like if it's Wednesday and you don't hear back from your course, it's probably because I didn't look at it, but I do look at them every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, sometimes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. But what we want to share with you is I want you to look with me from what we see. This is through our eyes. That's why we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. So when we see sometimes from course creators, sometimes what we expected that you'd be submitting is not what we always get. So I'm the bad guy. I'm going to tell you right now, of all of the people that review the courses, I'm the bad cop. I'm the one that's going to disapprove your course. I'm going to send you the email. I'm going to tell you why. So if you notice that you get something that says the course was not approved, look in your junk mail, look and see. We're always going to send an email to you and tell you, here's what you need to work on. Here's what's missing. Here's what we need to see. And I'm going to take you through and show you some of the things that we see. I made up a couple of examples, but I also pulled some examples from some things of courses that came in. So if you happen to see something from your course, we've already communicated about it. So not personal. We just want you to be aware of what it is that we're looking for, and more importantly, what it is that we're not looking for. So here we go. Can anybody tell me what you're seeing on the screen and what do you notice? Anybody tell that what this says is what's wrong with this so far? Typos. Yes, there's typos. Can you believe that we actually have people that send in courses? They have misspellings on words. Their grammar is off. Their words run together. There's not spacing between them. Things are left blank. Can you imagine what it would be like, what it's like for us, that when your course comes in, that we actually see things that are typos and misspellings? Now, I can tell you this, okay? For me to read every single thing that you write, that's not probably going to happen. In fact, I can tell you that's not going to happen. I'm not going to read every single word on the page. We're not here to edit. And we're not here to do what? We're not here to be your spell check person. We're not here to give you grammar tips. We're here to look at the course to make sure that everything is in the course that's supposed to be there is there. So what we want you to do is what? Is actually go back and do spell checks, do the typos. James Penny's going to talk to you about AI tools you can use with that. Most of the time, you can do that on your own. Okay, so here it is. If you've ever seen and if you've ever used a PowerPoint presentation, we've seen some of the presentations come in like this. We had presentations come in and this was their recording. So can anybody, by just looking at what you see, can you tell what might be not working about this recording? This is from a PowerPoint presentation. And put it up in the chat window because these are the things that it's not obvious at first. But what do you notice about this PowerPoint presentation? Very good. Somebody said it's not in presentation mode. If you're using PowerPoint, the presentation mode is right down here at the bottom, right? And you click that and it puts it up in presentation mode. If you notice, my slide here is in a presentation mode, right? And so what you're seeing is you're seeing all the pages to come. So when you're recording a presentation, what do you want to do? Well, you want to make sure it's in presentation mode before you record it. If you send it to us and we see this, we're going to send it back to you. So you want to pay attention and take a look at that as well. Your video times. We've seen people that when they send in their videos and we send it back, and this is probably one of the things that people get the most upset about when we disapprove a course are their video times. So here's what I know. When you upload your video, when you're uploading the video says, okay, the video's processing, come back later. Now, how many of you have caught yourself? Are you ready? You want to tell one on yourself. I've done it myself, so I know if I've done it. I know other people have done it. How many of you did not go back to look to see if your video uploaded? Anybody ever done that before? It's like, oh, no, I just forgot. I thought it uploaded. I figured it did. It said it was going to do it, but I didn't really go back and make sure. Or when you went back in, you thought you saw when you originally did the video, you knew how long it was. And so you entered the time in the minutes and the seconds. But then when the video uploaded, it came in differently. It might be off by a second, might be off by 2 seconds. Or you just said, you know what, I'm just going to round it to the nearest minute. So if you can see here, this says that it's 15 minutes, 0 seconds, but the video itself is actually only 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Now, there are times that we'll go in and we'll fix this for you. We'll do the editing for you. However, if you have 20 videos in your course and we have to go in and change every single one of them, we might change a couple and then we're going to send it back to you and say, we want you to update the video times to pay attention to that. Okay. If your video is 2 minutes and 58 seconds, like this one is, then what you should enter is 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Not 15 minutes, not 3 minutes. Don't round up, don't round down, don't truncate, all those different words. Put the exact time in, which takes us to the next thing about time. When your learners are actually working with you and they're working on things, when you give them an assignment that is not a video, but it's some kind of a text or some kind of PDF file, maybe it's a survey or some kind of interest form or something that you want them to do, you probably have a good idea about how long it should take. The problem is that's how long you think it should take. But what we don't know is we don't know when it comes to our learners, how long does it actually take? And so what we want to do is make sure that when you have your lesson times, when you think that you might have a lesson that we're talking about knowing your content area, knowing what's out there in your marketing and your target market, if you think that this section is going to take them 1 hour and 30 minutes, what we want you to put here is what? Are zeros. Why is that? Because we don't really know how long it's going to take someone to do it. What we want them to see when we're looking at the times that are involved are going to be the times that the videos or an audio file is going to have. So again, if you've got 10 sections in here and in those sections and you've got times in all of them, we're going to send it back to you and we're going to say, please go back and set those to 0. Sometimes I say, please, sometimes I don't. So, right, insert the correct data, Lucia says. Absolutely, right? And it's really great. Look how she said that. The reality reflects that information. Check that the reality is what's really happening. Absolutely, really great. So in the lessons, when you have a lesson, what you're going to see is that you're going to have the title of the lesson. So I'm talking here about know your content and what content already exists. There's a description of what that lesson is going to be. If I was going to write, or if you were going to read a description about a particular lesson, so there's the title, and you're going to put your description there, would you say that what I put in here for my description, would you say, let's think about Goldilocks and the 3 bears and eating the porridge. Would you say that this is too little information? Is it too much information? Or is it just about right? What would you say? If you were looking at this and you were looking at, as a learner, you were reading the description. Is that too much for you? Is it just about right? Is it not enough? What do you guys think? Too much, too much, too much. Yes, it's too much. Are we going to send this back to you? Yes, we are. Okay. Or I'm going to use the word me, I. Yes, I'm going to send this back to you. It's too much. And I want you to know, too often we see that I know that a lot of times, especially if you're working with AI gives you sometimes way more information than you need when you're just making a description about something. And it's really easy to take all that data, copy and paste it, put it in the description, putting websites in here and all the information that you have in here. We want that information in there, but not in the description. Your description should simply be 1 to 2 sentences. That's it. It's a description. It's kind of like an overview. What do you expect that you're going to see in this lesson? You're giving them the title, what it is, a quick 1 to 2 sentence is all we need to do what? Spacing could be an issue. It looks like a clump. Oh my gosh. Yes. Now, are you starting to see? This is my world. This is what I see when we have courses come in. And one of the reasons we'll send it back to you. Why? Because there's too much there. A clump. I really like that. That's a good word. We'll use it as a word. So we had a course that was sent in. This was the lesson. The lesson was called The Essence of Networking in the AI Area. And then this was the information in the lesson. It said that we're going to have an overview of network challenges and opportunities in the AI age, why relationships and communication matter more than ever, and to the introduction to engage, educate, empower, and explore and elevate. Now, when I saw that, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I want to see it, except that's all there was. So if you're putting something in your lesson where you're using the bullets, where you're saying, here's what we're going to do, and here's what we're going to work on, make sure that you also do what? Put the content in here. If you send this to us and what you have are these bullet points and that's all, we're going to send it back. Okay. How we doing so far? Is that pretty much, you guys going to get the flow for that? Like kind of some, all right, kind of some common sense things like, yeah, that makes sense. Don't leave content out when you're putting your content in if there's content to go. How many of you are interested in or you're going to be working with quizzes? Anybody, has anybody ever worked with the quizzes before and done the quizzes in our learning management system in the LMS? Or you're thinking about using a quiz? If you are, put yes up in the chat window. If you're like, no, I hate quizzes, then put no up there too. That's okay, either way. So we got some people, yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome. So anytime you enter a quiz question, it's always going to start out by saying new quiz question or new question for the name of your quiz. So if you notice, it's going to say new question for the name of the quiz. A learner is not interested that it's a new question. Okay, maybe you updated about here's what your question is. And then notice there's no punctuation here. It just says which food should you remove? I don't know, question mark, dot, 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 those kind of things, right? So yeah, very okay. So if you, we're going to come to that about talking about what you put in the content. If you've got interactive live coaching, that's coming. Thanks for asking that question. We're going to get to that so you see where to put that. So when you notice here and you see it's talking about the new question, take this out. We want to know what the question is. It's confusing to a learner that it's a new question because they're like, well, wait a minute. What about the question after that? That one wasn't new. Why is this one new? What's the difference? So notice what's there before you submit. The other thing that's missing on this particular quiz question is that we don't know what the right answer is. There are no right answers here. So when something's highlighted, it will put a little check in here. It will tell us that this is the right answer to that question. If I notice the next question, how many of you, if this was your direction on the quiz, you would have any idea at all what to put? What do you guys think? How would you give this as a great question to ask on a quiz? Would you say, oh my gosh, I know the answer right away? Maybe not. Is it worded in a way that gives you, the learner, the opportunity to understand what you're being asked? By the way, the answer to that's no. Okay, so we're looking at it. If you ever need assistance in writing quiz questions, what can you do, right? It's got to be in context, right? Come to a course creator session. They're every Tuesday, they're every Thursday. If you're interested in writing quiz questions, you can Google best practices for writing quiz questions. Somebody just said it's funny, but it's not. So what am I sharing with you? This is what we see when courses are submitted. And then we send them back and we say, here's what you need to do. And then they get sent back again and we get the same questions over again. So sometimes people get a little upset with me when I disapprove. But why am I disapproving? Because this is what we see. So, you know, what's the best way to say that? Have a little compassion over here for what I'm looking at in my world. Now, my background, so you know, I've been in education since 1988, right? So my background is in public education, as well as public education and homeschool education. And so I'm an educator by trade, right? So I took all those college classes and how to write good test questions. So I want you to know that when you're sending things in, I promise I know what we're looking for, and our reviewers, they know what they're looking for. And if it's not something that's going to make sense to the learner, because what we're interested in is what? Just somebody said, we're helping you look good. right. What are we trying to do? We want people to buy your course. We want people to finish your course. We want people to say your course was awesome. And then what? And then after they finish your course, we want them to buy another course. So it's a reflection on you, the course content creator. It's a reflection on the great discovery as well. So you're representing not only yourself as a course content creator, but you're representing the company, the great discovery. So do you want it to be, it's okay, or do you want it to be the best of the best of the best? So just kind of consider that when you're going through and you're creating these things. So video trailers. When you have a video trailer that's 12 minutes long, okay, as we've had, and people have submitted video trailers, you know, that little trailer that we say, it should be about 1 to 2 minutes. We allow you up to 3 minutes, right? You could do it in a minute. If you're talking for more than 2 minutes, you need to go back, look what you're saying, because you're talking too much. Cut it down, make it a trailer. You're just doing what? It's a teaser. You're getting people interested. They want to know that you're excited about the course and they want to find out more. They don't want to take the whole course in your trailer. If you send us a trailer that's 12 minutes long, do you know what's going to happen? We're going to send it back to you and say, your trailer is too long. Go back and do it again, right? Mindfulness course has 12 minutes in the whole video. There you go, right? So that's right for the whole course. So keep that in mind when you're doing what? When you're making your trailers. Notice for yourself. One of the things I can tell you, if you put a video together and it's 3 minutes long, I can almost guarantee you that there's no rehearsal. You did it on a one take and you thought it's really good and you said what you wanted to say and you likely rambled. So we don't want rambling. Why? Because rambling is not going to get people to open your course up and buy your course. What they're going to think is if you're rambling in your trailer, you're going to ramble in your course. Quick, easy. And if you want to see great trailers, go on the site and look at see courses that have what? That have been published. There you go. Leave them wanting more. Are you guys noticing this? Now, how many of you, as I'm sharing this, you're thinking to yourself, wow, Dennis, why are you telling us this? This kind of seems like common sense, right? So I'm sharing this with you. Why am I sharing with you? Because this is how the courses are sent to us. And we want you to know that when we disapprove them, it's not personal. It's not that we like you or don't like you. There's nothing to do with it. What it has to do with is that we want quality courses and that those quality courses are what? They're wanting, just like Jonathan said, that it's leaving people wanting more. So they come back. So it's good, helpful guidance. Awesome. Now, what can I tell you about this? Look and see what others have done. Now, where I'm going to point to, because we're going to spend the rest of our time on the Academy offering courses. So the first thing, if you're going to put together an Academy offering course, by the way, the Academy offering course, I know. So just in case, if you weren't sure, if I knew this, I want you to know that I do know. What is it that I know? That the commission structure is reversed. The creator gets 70% of the commission and 30% goes back to the field. That's different than a premium course where it's 30% to the content creator, 70% to the field. So I know when you're doing an Academy level course that it's a big deal for you, right? But if it's a big deal for you, it needs to be what? A big deal on our platform. Because why? These are our Academy level courses. Those are going to be disapproved more than any of them. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, because they're new and we're still what? We're still creating the feel for these, what they look like, how we want them to be. But we're going to go through step by step what we're looking for. And if you've got questions, what should you do? Come to a Tuesday session, a Thursday session. You're going to meet with either Kathy, you're going to meet with Sandra. They're going to work with you on your content creation. You can talk to them about what's going on in my Academy level course. What does it need to look like? How can I lay it out? But before you do that, step one is do what? Go on our platform, look at our courses, go to the Academy level courses and look at courses that are already there. So you're going to see courses from Alex Hitt, who you probably have heard his name before, Brad Bree, who is an expert when it comes to podcasting. They have courses where they'll meet with you, personal coaching. That's what the Academy level is about. It's about that one-on-one experience of meeting people that they're there to provide coaching and coaching sessions for you. So you'll see what those look like. One I want to highlight for you in particular is from Dr. Jeff Levine. Now, I want you to know, I don't know if Dr. Jeff is here, and if he is, just want to say thank you, Dr. Jeff Levine. So the reason why I'm saying thank you is that Dr. Jeff, I think, submitted his course 5 or 6 times. And once we went through, the one thing I want to acknowledge him for was how coachable he was and is, and what he was willing to do to go back and say, oh, okay, here's what you need. And oh, here's what you need. I think his was the very first academy level course that we published. And a lot of it was because we put it out there, we made it available, and we didn't have all the guidelines that we needed for you to follow to be able to put this academy level course together. But he went back and he took the time and he listened to what we were doing. We listened to him and where he was, the things that he needed. So if you want to see a course that is laid out very, very well, do what? Go in and check out Dr. Jeff's course. You can preview it. You can see what's there. And that's great. You've created over 100 courses. Okay, well, wow, you're catching up there, Elizabeth. I'm a little bit ahead of you, but right on. Well, that's good. So we're super, super excited to have you bring in your expertise to the platform as well. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. If you read the email today, what'd you get? You got some do's, you got some don'ts about how we're going to do academy level courses. I'm going to start with the don'ts. Do not, okay? Do not put your information about live coaching sections mixed in with the syllabus or any other content of your course. So let's talk a little bit about the idea of an academy level course. An academy level course, or we call it an academy offering, is a course where the learners are coming to meet with you, where they're going to have some kind of coaching, some kind of event that goes off of the Great Discovery platform onto your platform, where you're going to have personalized interaction with the people participating in your course. But if you take how they're going to get to you, a calendar link that you've got where they schedule a time, you put your email in there where you want them to email you, and then you're going to interact with them and schedule time with them. Whatever it is, if you bury it in other content, no one will find it. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. How do I know that? Because if I can't find it, no one else is going to find it either, unless they're going to dig. And we don't want them to do that. We want this to jump out at them. So somebody asked about, do you put that coaching information in the description? No, you don't. Where do you put it? You actually put it in as what? As one of the lessons. Lesson 1, here it is, how to contact, how to set up your coaching session. So your description is, in the lesson, you're going to see how to set up your coaching session with me or whatever it is that you're doing. That's your description. In the lesson itself, put your links there. And what do you want to do? Well, we're going to talk more about what we want you to do, but we don't want it to be what? We don't want it to be mixed in with the syllabus of the course or any other content. So sometimes people put in a long PDF that's 10, 12 pages long, and you bury all of the information in there about how they're going to contact you. People are not going to find that. Make it jump out. Make it easy for them. Make it think about, what if you were the participant in the course? Wouldn't you want to see that first, so you know? So we've had courses that come in, and in the course they said, oh, they need to have an additional payment that once they're in the course. No, they don't, and they're not going to. They're buying the course through the Great Discovery. All of the money that you're going to be that's going to be collected from the Great Discovery, that's it. That's what's in the course. Why is that? If you're asking them to make payments, and now I'm going to ask you guys this because this is an important question. Why is it that we do not want a course creator to put a link in their course to request additional payments in their course once someone's already purchased it? So put it up in the chat window. This is really important. It's like hugely important. Yeah, there we go. Come on, Nikki. That's right, you guys. Say it loud, say it proud. Commissions, back to who? Back to everybody that has referred, our affiliates, other course content creators, other learners, right? If people don't like upsells, there's that too, right? But the commissions, like if we go in and if you have somebody making a payment from inside of your course, that payment's going directly to you. It's not commissionable. Why is that? Because we don't have any way to know what happened. The only way that we're able to pay commissions and be able to have affiliates do what? To share your course is by having everything that they're going to buy in the course be in the course, right? So they're going to want more. There you go. Absolutely. Okay, something else about your course, right? What we don't want to see, we do not want to see income claims. We don't want to see health promises. I'll share something with you, okay? So I've seen people that have talked about how to become a millionaire. And my first question to them, when they tell me that their course is, this is how you can become a millionaire, do you know what my question back to the course creator is? You can put it up in the chat. What do you think my question to the course creator is when they talk about their course is teaching you how to become a millionaire? Are you a millionaire? Absolutely, right? So I want you to know, okay, being in my line of work and the line of work I've been in, I've been able to generate a great, great, great lifestyle and income. So when you're claiming that someone can become a millionaire because they're taking your course, it's almost 100% guaranteed that you're not one yourself. Okay, it's possible that you might be, but what we want is we want that you're creating a future for someone. You're creating a pathway for someone. You're creating something that is going to lead them to a life of their dreams. But is that going to be a millionaire? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the life of their dreams isn't that. So a multimillionaire, can you claim it then? If you're a multimillionaire, you don't need to claim it, right? So if you have people talking about you and you have testimonials and people are talking about you as a multimillionaire, okay, great. So do it inside of your testimonials. It's not something that you need to share with others, okay? So no, we don't want income claims and promises of what's going to happen with people's health, because no one here that we're not doctors, and if we are doctors, most doctors know that's not something you want to do. Want to make sure that you do that as well. Now, do not submit your course without reviewing it and checking your work. Okay. Big thing. How do I know that the times are off? How do I know there's typos? How do I know that the quiz questions are the way they are? How do we know that the videos sometimes are missing or they never rendered? How do we, what is that a communication to me? Is that the course content creator did not take any time to go back and check their work. Now, I'm making that as a general claim. Could I be wrong? I could be wrong, but the probability that my statement's accurate is pretty high. So is it possible to purchase an Academy course more than once? Once you purchase an Academy course, that is your course. So if you have a course where you want to do, what do you want to wait for is the Academy course content creator to put up their next course. You want to have a conversation with the Academy course person if there's a reason to buy the course again. But if you have that, contact us. Let's look and see if there's a situation where that needs to be done. We'll look to see how to make it work. Okay. So what do you want to do? All right, here we go. This is the good part, the fun part. Look, it's even a smiley face. There we go. Post your information about your live coaching sessions or your off-platform events as their own section and lesson. Big deal. Make this available to people. Let it jump off the page so they know exactly what they're getting, and put this where? This should be your very first, maybe the second, but put it at the beginning so people know how to get in touch with you and what to expect. We know that you'll put it in where? You'll put it in what you're going to get out of the course. We know that it's there. We know that sometimes it's in the description. We know that it's there, but people don't always read that. Where they are going to read is they're going to go through your lessons. And when they open up a course, what they're going to see is lesson, they go to section 1, section 2, section 3, and inside of those sections are the lessons. We want to see it in your first section, in your first lesson, because we know people are going to look there and they may miss if it's in your description. In fact, sometimes people have put it in where? They put it in what the course is all about. And I didn't even see it. I missed it. Why? Because I'm looking at your content. What's there? And if it's not there, we want to make sure that you have something there. Be clear about the meeting times. How long is the meeting each time that you're going to meet with them? What's the duration of your sessions? Is your session going to be a 9-week session? Is it going to be a 3-month session? Is it going to be 4 3-hour calls? Is it going to be 5 1-hour calls? Whatever it is, make it what? Make it clear so that your learner knows what to expect. Unfulfilled expectations lead to people being upset. Upsets lead to what? Upsets lead to complaints. Complaints lead to what? People not wanting to purchase your next course. It's as simple as that. Have it be crystal clear for them. Be clear about what the schedule is when they're going to do their coaching sessions or anything that you're going to do off the platform. All right. So everything else, do review everything in your course before submitting. The video times, the audio times. If you have text or PDF, the times is 0. That's how much time is going to be. 0. We don't want to preclude what it's going to be for someone. Because we don't know what We don't know if someone's going to take an hour or 2 hours, and you might think it takes an hour and 15 minutes, but we can't say for sure. So that's what we're looking for. So somebody said about repeat course for a repeat buyer, you could create a new course. That's like a level 2. Absolutely. Right. So for level 2, could you say can you require level 1? The systems right now is not set up for them to do level 1 first, but that might be in your trailer. That's your trailer. Hey, this is level 2. We do what? We request you take level 1 first before you do this. So look at that requirement section in there so you can see what that looks like. Okay. Images. Check your images. Make sure your images are what? That the images fit on the page and they're not huge or they're not too small or they're not up to the side. They're right where you want them. If you have a text or you've done a PDF upload, make sure the upload's actually there. That your quizzes are what? That your quizzes are done in a way that it communicates to the learner that you're doing what? You're really, I call it a celebration of knowledge. You're actually celebrating with them what they've learned about in your course. So that's what we're looking at. And then grammar as well. Now, that we've got all these things, we also have some really great tools that are available for you. And well, first of all, let me just ask you guys this one more thing real quick. Are you ready? I'm going to make a special offer to you guys right now. You could work with me personally, right? Pay me $5,000. I'll give you personal support in creating your courses. So I want you to know there's some questions right now that you should have before you consider buying a course like this. Do you guys have questions? Just pay me $5,000. That's it. I'll personally support you. Do you notice what's not there? What's not there? Well, what's not there is what? I'm not telling you when, how often. Are we going to meet one time? Are we going to meet for 15 minutes? Right? Give us the details, as Jonathan says. How are we going to support you? Right? Something else about this course. And I'm going to write this word down. How many of you have ever heard Tim, Sandra, James Penny? You've heard Kathy. How many of you guys have ever heard us use this word funnel? Anybody heard that word before? I've heard that word before, the funnel. So I put up an academy level course. It's my first course on there as a $5,000 course. Okay, are people going to buy that course? They don't know anything about me. They don't know. And by the way, I'm sharing with you, but really, do you really know anything about me? Not really. My background, where I've been, other than what I've told you since we've been together. So how do people get to know you? Funnels. So do this and have this in place before creating an academy offering. Have a free course. Have it already up there. Have a Genius Club or a membership course. Have a premium course. Do those things first so our learners get to know you. They're doing what? They're starting to trust you. They get to know you. They get to like you, the know, like, trust, all of that, right? But make sure that you're creating the funnel. And as you create that funnel, then you want to build that relationship. You also want to build that relationship with our affiliates. If you just had an academy offering course and the affiliate wants to know more about you, they really want to see a free course from you so they can look at the free course and be, oh my gosh, this free course was awesome. And what are they going to do? Now they can share more of your courses and say, man, take this free course, but also look at the other kinds of courses that they have. Okay, expect from us. We have a questionnaire that we're going to ask you to complete, and especially at the academy offering level, a very careful review of your course. If you do get back a disapproval from me, what I want you to know, again, it's not that I like you, don't like you, it has nothing to do with that. There's something missing in your course, and we want to make sure that what's going to happen is that that course is set up in a way that our learners are going to have the best experience ever. Okay, with that, what I'm going to do, and I know there's some questions in the chat. I think people are monitoring those, so hopefully they'll be able to answer your questions. But what we want to do now is also do what? Is give you other kinds of ways to support you. So what I'm going to do is pull the screen sharing back down and bring up my buddy over here, Mr. James Penny, and the Executive Vice President of Marketing for the Great Discovery. And James is going to walk you through and share with you about how you can get AI support to take you through all these things we've just been sharing about. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being playful.
Thanks so much, Dennis. That was awesome. A great, just great information on how to successfully get your stuff approved right away. And folks, it doesn't have to be hard to get your things approved. And I'm going to share with you some tools. So Dennis had to do all the hard work, telling you all the do's and don'ts. Now I get to do all the fun work and showing you fun, easy ways to get that work done. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up a couple of things here to walk you through. All right. First and foremost, I've got a course, an overview of a course here that that I want to post. Does anybody see anything wrong with this? This is in Microsoft. Well, it's in Docs. What's wrong with this? Well, probably see there's a lot of spelling errors there because a lot of stuff in red, right? So you can take and spend hours reading through this and fixing all the misspellings. Also, what about the formatting? Does this look attractive? Is this broken down in a way that somebody would want to see your course and actually purchase your course? So I'm going to show you how to utilize the tools to not only fix this to where it's very attractive for somebody to want to buy your course, but also to get everything else through the process of onboarding your course in the format and the size and all the specifications that you need. So here's the neat thing is you're going through the onboarding process. There are all these amazing tips and items here for you to read. I highly encourage you to read these as you're going through. So the first thing here is, it says right here, maximum of 300 characters. This is a brief description, maximum of 300 characters, and a course title. This is really the first step in onboarding your course. So before we start onboarding the course, first we want to, fix this up a little bit. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to our AI Genius system. And here in the AI Genius system, you click this left tab over here so you can go into the tools and you're going to use some writing tools. Well, the tool you want to use for this is the WOW app. You can write just about anything with the WOW app, including a book or course outlines, those kinds of things. So what I first would do is I would paste this in the WOW app. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit because I actually wrote some instructions for the WOW app here on this next page. And basically what I said is write this as an ad that makes someone want to buy this course from an e-learning system. Make sure it is very compelling advertisement. Check all of the spelling. So I'm going to highlight the prompt that I'm giving WOW app because I'm telling the WOW app this is going to be an advertisement for an online system. And that's the key thing is you want people to buy your course. So you want to write it in a format that they would buy it. And now it's going to write it. It'll check all the spelling. It'll take about a minute and a half really to do that. And then I'll show you a couple neat little tricks that you can do with this. Okay, now it's written it. Notice all the spelling are gone. It's given us some bullet points and it's given us some notes here, reinforcing why it wrote the ad this way. This advertisement highlights the course unique features, focusing on humor and community to appeal to the target audience. Spelling and grammatical errors were corrected, and this content was structured for clarity and engagement. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do here, now that I've got the spelling and the format taken care of, I'm going to go to my first step. What do I need on my first step? Well, I need a brief description and I need a course title. So, maybe you already have that, but if you want to save some time, you can say, write a course, or I'd say, give me some options. I'll say 3. Mold arthritis slows me down typing these days. Brief description, no more than 300 characters. Because remember, if you read the notes here, it says maximum of 300 characters. So now we've got that, and I'm just going to click submit. And it'll give me a few title options, and it'll give me a brief description. So if you're working late and you're having a hard time trying to figure it out, senior fitness and nutrition, humor and health, the joyful journey, wholesome living made simple. So maybe we do senior fitness and this. You just copy it and come over here, paste in your title, whichever one you like. It's all formatted and ready to go. And then you can do your brief description that's no more than 300 characters. Pick the one you like. So we'll use the one that came with this title suggestion. And I'll put it right here in the system. And this is basic, and I'll click next. Now, when I come to next, now the WOW app already knows what you're working on, so you don't really have to tell it a whole lot. But here you need an image that is no more than, well, it's recommended that it's 600 by 600 pixels. So I'm going to cheat again because I went down here and I said, create an image to promote this course and make it 600 by 600. So y'all don't have to watch me type. So I'll just paste that in here. Boom. Now it's going to create the image for you to onboard your course with. And while it's doing that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to open up another app tab. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go back into the WOW app. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this script that it fixed up for me. And then I'll open up the Genius video tools. And I'll go into text. You guys have seen me do this with websites a lot, but you can also do it with text. And I'll pick, you know, a voice. I'll pick a music. And I'll pick that I want it to highlight in a karaoke fashion. And I'll pick a great discovery color like purple. You can actually match it up. And I'll say I want it to be less than a minute, all right? Because remember on that next, when you start to upload your demo reel, you want it to be no more than 3 minutes. But the, you know, a very wise man told me that if you can't say what you want to say in 1 minute, you don't need to say it. And so then you can pick where that would show up on the screen. So I put down here on the bottom. And by the time I click create video, our image should be ready to go. So we can go back over here and here's a fun little image. And if you don't like it, you can just give it instructions. You can talk to the app like it's a human. And then you can go ahead and create a different image. So I'll say something like, make the image more fun with elderly people at a beach. All right, now I'm going to go back over here to our system here though and show you. Actually, it looks like I closed the tab. You would just upload that image into that particular course that you're creating and go to the next step. Now I'm just going to go ahead and go to the next step without uploading the image because we're kind of running out of time here, but I just want to step through this and show you. If you follow the bouncing ball on here on onboarding courses, you can just, you know, read what the prompts are. Here, let me get, that's actually a draft. Just read what the prompts are and keep following those prompts. So here we've got discover that appearance and trailer. We will be able to upload this 600 by 600 image right here. And then we'd upload that trailer and then it's going to take you, follow the bouncing ball into the type and you just choose your Genius and then you choose pricing. If there's pricing, the Genius wouldn't have pricing. You choose your categories, you choose your language, and then what you learn, this is where you're going to now use the more detailed outline that you're writing here in the WOW app. And so remember, you created this. I'm just going to highlight this and bring it down here to the bottom. And I'll put this in here. I'll say, make so you can even put emojis whenever you do post your outline for your course. And so I'm just going to rewrite the same thing, but it's going to put some cool emojis on there. Now, obviously, you want to read this, make sure it fits with your core values, that it's given the message that you want to give. Notice it's showing some healthy foods here, and exercise and laughter, and heart and growth and hitting targets. So this is actually more fun to post because it has some cool emojis, and you can do more formatting to it. But then you just basically you're going to paste it in here. And then you want some requirements. What are the requirements of the course? Well, type in here, what are all right, what are the requirements or prerequisite for the course? And it'll give us some that you can put in there. You don't necessarily have to have a bunch of those, but this will give it to you. And then I'm going to show you one more thing that I think will be helpful for you. But here's course requirements and prerequisites. You just read that and make sure it makes sense. And then you can just post it right into the requirements phase or space, and then click save. And then when you get to the content part, you'll be able to start adding your content. But one of the pieces of content that Dennis stated that you want to make sure is written well so people understand is questions. So I could do create, let's say 10 create 10 multiple choice questions for this course. Boom. So in the meantime, maybe you've been spending hours and hours trying to come up with multiple choice questions, get them worded just right. And that's okay too. It's good to use your brain power, but this is a tool that, can shortcut that process for you. Then you can go through there. It says, what is the key benefit of eating whole foods? A, B, C, D, right? What are exercises recommended? Highly intensity, chair exercises, marathon running, rock climbing. Well, for beginners, it's going to be chair exercises, right? How does laughter contribute to wellness? Increases physical strength, reduces appetite, elevates mood, and reduces stress, right? So this is what Dennis was talking about when he wants you to have good questions that people will be able to look at this and understand what you're asking and what the possible answers might be. So this is, folks, I got to tell you, using this tool to help create your courses, you're going to elevate the quality of what you're posting online, and you're going to really empower yourself to have more customers who want to come back and buy your course over and over again. You can literally, if you have a course in, I have some people tell me, well, my course is all in PowerPoint. Well, we have tools on here. We don't have time to show you how to use them all today, but we have tools on here that can extract the data out of your PowerPoint. You just copy and paste it into this WOW app and say, write my advertisement for an online course. All right, now write my first module, or write 7 modules for this course, and it'll write them for you, scripts and everything. This is crazy cool stuff here. We're going to be going through a lot of this in the 2-day boot camp that is coming up. And by the way, anybody that does want to join the 2-day boot camp, the deadline to do that for this upcoming one that's February 8th and 9th is tonight, because we have to have a little bit of leeway time to get your funnel fix created for you. And I'll post a link to that if anybody's interested. With that, I'll turn it back over to you, Tim, for questions and answers.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Just to remember a couple things is, one, this is all about success. I mean, we've all worked hard to accumulate the knowledge and expertise so that you want to get out, and we create a great platform and to get it out around the world to the people that need it the most. The monetary returns are going to be directly proportional to the quality that you put out. So if you can create excellence just as you're going through and putting your content up, you're going to have a much better response, build your reputation farther, make more money, empower more people. It kind of comes down to that. If you missed any part of this session, you can watch it live or watch the replay up on the video archive session. You'll be able to go through it. We'll post this and get it out there to make sure everyone's aware of it and more people know about it as well. Now, coming up here at the top of the hour in just another minute or so, we've got another live session that's going to be coming up. And that is going to be right here with Dr. Ann Hester is going to be coming up and doing a session on weight loss. I don't know about you, but you know, it's the new year and maybe I ate a few too many Christmas cookies. I don't know. But Sandra says, yeah, you did a whole, and the Christmas cake and stuff too, apparently. So I've got to definitely dial in and listen to Dr. Hester. And she has followed this process. She has mastered this. So take a look at Dr. Hester's course, listen in on this. And if you want to come in and get your own course up on the new course spotlight, reach out to customer service. We'll get you up. We do it every Monday and Wednesday. This is going to be fabulous. I can't wait for this. I'm going to have my notepad out. You can just stay right here in this room and you'll be able to pop right in and follow along with Dr. Hester's session coming up here in just 1 minute. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Kathy Lawson to wrap up. Great job.
Tim, I want to just say one thing really quick to all the creators. What Dennis just went over is so amazing. And I want to just follow up with one last thing. There is a preview button on your lessons. There's a preview button on your course. You click that button and it shows you exactly what that course is going to look like on the website. When you click it, when you're inside the course working on it in draft, it shows you exactly what the learner is going to see when they buy that course and open it up. Use that preview button. It is gold, guys. You can see exactly what the learner is going to see, okay? It is extremely valuable, so use that preview button. All right, now let me stop the